Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this December 2025 energy update. When I tuned into the energies of this month, December 2025, I was given a vision of a beautiful white spider. And what she was doing was spinning a cocoon, like a protective sphere around me. And you can imagine around you as well. Now, I know that not everybody really relates to spiders, but in its light essence, spider is such an amazing, amazing creature, has so much to teach us. And so I asked her what her message was, and here it is. I'm just going to spit it all out. She says, wonderment. And then she makes a little pun. She says, wonder mint, for mint indeed is your ally at this time. So I'll talk a little bit more about mint later on. But then she goes on. She says, wonderment. Don't be afraid. Your mind is ripe for expansion. You won't get to where you want to go by speeding up. You must slow down. The pulse of the universe does not go at the speed of technology. Whether faster or slower is immaterial. It is an altogether different experience of time. You must jump ship. Stop thinking of progress as moving forward. It is rather more like stepping aside. Step aside and allow the trajectory of the world to sweep itself past, sweep away. Do not try to restrain it. Do not attempt to follow. Those who have gone off course will find their own way in one time or another. Let them go. Their fate no longer concerns you. You must do what you are here to do. Step aside as the matador steps aside from the mad rush of the bull. It is a dance, you and the bull. Precise logic and intuitive presence pitted against unrestrained emotions and primitive rage. The bullfighter steps aside into another dimension, passes effortlessly between worlds, taking refuge in the ethers, stepping in and out of the physical world. Step in, strike a blow. Step aside, allow it to blow through. The cards are stacked in your favor. Right? Wonderful message. And I really encourage you to go back and listen to that again, because every time I read this, I get more out of it. But just a little bit of a practical interpretation. December is inviting us to slow down and step away from the rat race, and to both tune into our higher intuition and to step into observer mode, right? Our logical side, because these are the things that will allow us to rise above all the craziness that's happening in the world right now, right? So the bull represents our animal nature, not in a good way in this case, but it represents our blind instincts that, when they're not controlled, can wreak havoc in our lives and for everyone around us. The bullfighter represents our conscious mind that allows us to see when the lower emotions are on a rampage and take action to diffuse it, okay? So I know I have always had a very visceral reaction to bullfights. It really has always upset me, right? For obvious reasons. But I think in this case, we're looking at this bullfight image in a very symbolic way. I'm going to release another video pretty soon about that, but I think you get the picture, right? A couple of the things that she mentions in here. She mentions technology, okay? Universe does not go at the speed of technology. She's very pointedly directing us to really be aware of how we use technology, and we do not have to be enslaved to technology. Now, of course we can use it, but just like the bullfighter can step out into another dimension, right? We can relate to technology in the same way. In fact, technology itself you can look at as part of this whole bull symbolism, right? She's talking about using time and stepping into more the eternal time, right? And so this is a very kind of advanced esoteric spiritual practice of really shifting into other dimensions. So I would say right now, December, wonderful month to really consider how you're using your time, whether you're using technology or allowing it to use you. And one final note about this whole bullfighter thing. Spider is really inviting us to look at how our our relationship with our emotional body, right? And with our animal instincts. We have instincts in order to help us to survive, but as human beings, we have another level of consciousness above our animal consciousness, okay? And so if we allow ourselves to remain in our animal consciousness, which a lot of times can be very easily hijacked, right? Through social media, through the conventional media, through just all the narratives that are out there, that is a means of control, because it hijacks us. It prevents us from actually stepping up into our higher consciousness, okay? And so if we don't consciously work on stepping up into a higher level of consciousness, a level of being, and learn to control our animal emotions, like the bullfighters controlling the bull, right, and take them out. And this doesn't mean that we need to kill our emotions at all. What it means is that we need to be really in control of it, and to be able to defuse those ones that are not serving us, okay? And so that we can lift our emotional body into a higher level, all right? That's what it means. And the thing is that if we don't do this ourselves, then other things are going to be controlling and directing our animal instincts, and it's not going to be for our highest good. It's going to be for whatever agenda is out there. All right, so that's all I'm going to say about that for now. So I've got a reading coming up, but first I wanted to take a quick look at this beautiful herb that's being suggested to us. It's mint, okay? And whether it's peppermint or spearmint, she just says mint. But mint has such a wonderful fragrance for one, but an essence that can be so positive, right? For spirit, mind, and body. So few things that mint is associated with. One is protection and warding off evil spirits, okay? It just smells uplifting. It can really help you to get into a more positive frame of mind. And it's also an anti-stress herb. So this would be a wonderful, wonderful herb, especially in December. I mean, we think of peppermint as being such a quintessential December flavor. It could be a really uplifting herb to have fun with and play with and see how it feels for you. All right, so I've been seeing a lot of ravens lately, so I thought for the reading here, in fact, I just started this new painting, and it was going to be kind of a black and white raven painting, and it's turning into one about a birch tree, which a friend of mine who does tree readings recently did a reading on me and came up with birch, and I think that's why birch maybe decided that she was going to be the star of this one, but I really wanted to honor Raven in some way. So I have this beautiful deck. It's the Raven cards by Gabby Booker, and we're going to pull just 3 cards for body, mind, and spirits to support us this December. And while I shuffle, I'd like to invite you to our next Lightworkers Cafe gathering. Lightworkers Cafe is a series of online free spiritual gatherings that I am hosting. The second one this month is going to be this Sunday, November 23rd. And it's just like a little spiritual coffee chat. And the topic is going to be angels. So if you have an affinity with angels, if you have stories to tell, if you have questions in your mind, it's a beautiful group of spiritual seekers. Nobody will think you're crazy to talk about angels, and I really invite you to join us. The link to join that is down below. So here's the first card, and this first one is going to be for the physical body, right? And it says, oh my, it says Snekth Hastuk. S-N, I can't even pronounce that. But she says, sometimes experiences and things that happen only make sense in relation to each other. And then they form a word that shows that we welcome everything. Thanks. Right? So actually this is like thanks all mixed up here. And then thanks at the bottom. All right. So I feel like we're looking at gratitude And I feel like gratitude for the earth, for the physical manifestation that we're in that can seem so crazy and chaotic and jumbled up. But she says sometimes experiences and things that happen only make sense in relation to each other. So we're looking at relationships, which really does tie back to Spider and her web and threads that connect all of us together, every being in the universe on this earth. Okay, we're all related. And so when we come into a sense of gratitude for whatever is happening, whatever it looks like right now, just trusting that it's all for the best, right? That we're in the perfect time, that sometimes, like, right now we're in this process of a huge shift and change. We know that with change, it often feels very chaotic. There will be things flushed up that can be maybe ugly, but we can give thanks for the process. We can give thanks for whatever is in your life that is beautiful. Give thanks for just being alive, and giving thanks for the wonderment of it all, right? I think when we bring ourselves into that state of gratitude, it helps our body to relax into the present moment, and so that we can better feel into the interrelatedness of everything and our place in it all, right? And because Spider did say, she says, you must do what you are here to do, right? And when we calm down, get to center, and get to this place of gratitude where we feel our connection, that helps us to start to reattune to, well, what is it that I'm, really being inspired to do? All right, so the next one is going to be the mental card, right? And this includes both our emotional body and our mind, right? So mental, emotional. And it says, be light as a feather, play, whirl around, and dance, okay? An invitation to lighten up. Lighten up, especially this time of the year where it's so dark, and we can light up our surroundings just with our own emotional body, with our own attitude, right? And bringing play and dance. If you feel like dancing, dancing is a beautiful physical way to express the energy and the exuberance and the vitality of life, right? Be light as a feather, play, whirl around, and dance. So beautiful suggestion from Raven. And then this third card, before I introduce this third card, I had one more thing to mention, and that's that I do have a solstice giveaway going, an art giveaway, and this is painting called Soul Star. And this will be, I'll be drawing from everybody who is subscribed to my art newsletter. That description is below as well. And so anybody who's signed up by December 21st, by the solstice, will be in the running to win this painting. All right, so let's look at this last card. And this would be the spirit card, right? So be a messenger, but be sure that you have a message to bear. If in doubt, ask your heart, be the ambassador of your heart, okay? Now, we do have a message, right? All of us, every one of us has a message to bear. And like he says, your heart has that message embedded within it, right? And so know that you have a message, but also know that there are so many false messages that are circulating around. And again, if we're in that lower frame of mind, if we are caught up in that bull mentality or the lower animal self, that it's easy for us to take up messages that aren't ours and broadcast those, all right? So again, we can come to stillness and look in the heart and say, what does the heart say? What does the heart want to speak or sing out? And broadcast that, right? You do have a message to bear. It's in your heart. All right, so the invitation is to share it. All right, so thank you so much. I invite you to join me this Saturday, November 23rd, for a beautiful discussion on angels. That's free. You can sign up below. Sign up for my art newsletter to have a chance to win this painting. And remember, you were born to be free.